Hello, everybody. My name is Karen Cagg, and I am a licensed Reiki Master Teacher and a member of the social media team with the ICRT. And I am so excited to be here with you tonight. As you know, the purpose of the ICRT is to establish and maintain standards for teaching Reiki, to train Reiki practitioners and Reiki teachers, and to support those people in their Reiki practices. And that's why I'm super excited about this new live and unfiltered LRMT Spotlight, because we are going to be able to share our experiences, learn from each other, and get to know each other and continue to build our Reiki community. And our very first guest is Pam Allen LeBlanc, who is our only LRMT in Canada. And Pam, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me, Karen. I'm just so excited about this.
Great. Well, could you tell us a little bit about what brought you to the LRMT program?
Yeah, you know what? I guess I wasn't a natural for Reiki. I'm a scientist with an MBA. I was kind of, it wasn't natural for me, but when I came up with health problems, it worked. And from the time I started working with Reiki, Reiki started working with me, and I learned to follow my guidance. And it wasn't actually my intention to become an LRMT. You'll see that in an article that in the next Reiki News magazine that I wrote about the LRMT program, but I got a tap on the shoulder. And the tap on the shoulder said, you need to become a licensed Reiki master teacher. And the funny thing is, Karen, I don't know if this happened for you, but I sometimes argue with the guidance that I receive. And I didn't see the benefit of becoming a licensed Reiki master teacher at the time. I knew it was a lot of work. It's over 1,000 hours of training. And I was already teaching Reiki. I'd been teaching. I had a very successful practice since 2011. But do you know that becoming a licensed master teacher really changed my life? And I don't know if you found anything similar, but it changed everything. My classes have changed. They're more professional, but it changed me too. And so because of that, the licensed master teacher program and the ICRT teachings, those thorough teachings that really resonate with me, I just really want to spread them.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you're catching us live, type your questions for Pam down below. And if you're catching us on the replay, go ahead and type a question in too, and we'll try to get back to it. Pam, we already have somebody who's asking if you have any plan for the San Francisco Bay Area. You are all over the world, girl. I know that, but are you happening to stop in San Francisco at any point?
Casey, thank you so much for the question. At the moment, I don't, although I do have a client in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we have chatted about the possibility. So I won't say that next fall it's not that it wouldn't happen. I am teaching in Australia next month.
Tell us about that.
Oh, that's exciting. Well, that was another tap on my shoulder thing, Karen. I just got a tap on my shoulder, and I was shown that at the moment there aren't licensed Reiki master teachers in Australia, and it's a lot. It's very difficult for Australians to get to us in North America. And so the energy said, you're a licensed teacher now, why don't you go? And of course, students who take classes from a licensed Reiki master teacher are then eligible to become a professional member. And down the road, if they ever decide that they too would like to be a licensed teacher, they can then apply. And as you know, it's a rigorous application process, but my goal in teaching in Australia is to try to develop the ICRT courses there. There's a lot of fantastic Reiki masters in Australia, but some people are very drawn to this lineage just for the non-judgmental way, the way that they honor all Reiki practitioners, the way that they're so thorough in evidence-based information and the scientific side of things. And so for people that are drawn to this lineage, I just really want to make it available. And Canada is kind of, I find Australians are very similar to Canadians.
Got the same vibe. Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah,
So I'll be teaching a 5-day RMA class there for anybody who would like to become a professional member of our organization. And then people can also do just the level 1 and 2 or just the masters.
Yeah,
And
can
I'm
you tell
also
people
going
what
to
that means? The 5-day RMA stands for the Reiki Membership Association.
yeah.
And I remember, okay, when I wanted to join as a professional member, because I'd taken Reiki 1 and 2, and then I took Reiki Master with William in England.
So did I.
And I wanted to be a professional member. And he said, well, you have to take Reiki 1 and 2 again. I was like, but I just took Master with you. You know? And like, you are the.
I thought the same thing, Karen.
He said, that's our policy, you know, and I'm so glad that it is, because every time I have taken it with a different teacher, I have learned something new. And but it would be great to have that So I'm sorry, go ahead and tell them what the RMA 5-day class is.
No, I'm really enjoying hearing about your experience because it's very similar to mine. I kind of thought the same thing. I just studied with William Rand in the center of the Stonehenge circle. Why would I need more? And but I've taken, I don't know about you, Karen, but I've taken the level 1 and 2 class 3 or 4 times from 3 and 4 different teachers. And every time I learned something, and every time I grew as a person, and I also learned more that I wanted to incorporate in my classes. So I'm like you, I'm glad that it's a policy, even though it didn't make sense to me at first.
Yeah. And I looked on our website, and there are only 8 professional members in Australia. So by you doing this, that's going to be great, because you'll be able to, like you said, spread the Reiki love. You'll be able to have more professional members in Australia. So
yeah. Well, the Reiki Membership Association is something through the ICRT that anybody from any lineage can join, but they would be considered an associate member. And but in order to be considered a professional member, you have to have taken Reiki level 1 and 2, as well as the 3-day Reiki master's class from a licensed Reiki master teacher. And I don't know, there's a different quality to those classes, Karen, isn't there? Like, yeah, at least that's what I experienced.
And I love if I get a master student that has had Reiki 1 and 2 with a professional member or a licensed teacher, especially the licensed teachers, like, I know exactly that they have covered everything. Yes. And we have a common language that we can, there aren't holes and gaps that I have to stop and fill. So
that's true.
That's great. And what else are you teaching in Australia?
I'm also teaching an animal Reiki class because, as you or some people who may have seen some of my articles in the Reiki News magazine might know, animals are my passion. I teach horseback riding lessons and centered riding and how to use energy with horses. I always have rescue dogs and cats, and I used to have chickens and poultry around until I started traveling too much to look after them. And so myself and some other Reiki masters, Colleen Benelli, Robin Benelli, and Sue Strong, put together a course, and it's going to set people up to be animal Reiki practitioners. They do have to have level 1 and 2 already, but it's kind of exciting for me to teach something that we created.
That's exciting, yeah. And that's a horse eye looking at us right now, like right behind you, right?
That's Honey. She's one of the members of my herd, and when they published our very first article about animals and Reiki and how you can attune animals to Reiki in the Reiki News magazine in 2013, that was on the not on the cover, but it was the main photo of the magazine. Yeah, so
I remember that.
Yeah. Great.
So, so what else have you got in the works that you're really excited about? Or tell me about, like, what students do you get the most excited about? Or what would your students say about you if they had to choose like 3 words? Like, Pam is boop, boop, boop.
Oh, God. That's a hard one to answer. I know that they automatically think of animals because that's my background and what I love. I guess people find the classes very inspirational, and especially because I was such a, I don't know, I'll use the word doubting Thomas when I began with Reiki. I was very thorough in my study of it. And, and as a scientist, I needed a lot of proof. And of course, there is a lot of proof with Reiki, and there is a lot of scientific background behind it. So I think people find the classes really thorough. And so I appeal to people like that. And I know I'm also a very strong empath. And so a lot of empaths come to my classes, people that just feel other people's emotions, and some of us that struggle sometimes with over empathy, taking on people's stuff, because that was a very big part of my journey. I had health issues that the doctors couldn't figure out, that didn't make any sense. And it's come to my attention because I've worked with so many empaths over the years that a lot of them do too. And that Reiki helps us release the energies we've picked up from others that don't belong to us. And that really helps.
I think that's what strikes me about you the most, is that you're very balanced. In that you're very grounded and logical, and that must be that MBA background there in the science. But you are also so compassionate.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
So I think that's just the little that I've known you, and we did share a room.
We did share a room at Williams.
Another benefit of the LRMT program is sometimes you get to go to Hawaii. Yeah,
right.
On a retreat, and that's amazing. And we shared a room. That's how I got to know you. But
yeah,
looking to see if we have some other questions.
We do have some questions. Thank you, Jessica. She's just commenting on the fact that she was at my co-teach with Colleen Benelli, and it's so nice to hear from you again. And Amanda, it's my pleasure to think of you in Australia. In fact, I'm also trying to spread these teachings across Canada so that we can get more licensed teachers here. And I'll be in Western Canada I just came from Ottawa, and I'll be in Western Canada in July. And I'm kind of excited, Karen, because I'm going to go to London.
Yeah, tell me about that. You just kind of dropped that at the beginning before we started. And I thought, oh, you're going to London.
Yeah, I guess I didn't mention that to you. It was another tap on the shoulder kind of thing that William Rand teaches a Reiki master's class in England. As you know, that's where you and I both learned. But a lot of people from Europe don't have as much access to level 1 and 2 classes, although Vidya Singh, one of our licensed teachers, does teach there, and occasionally there are other teachers that make it to London. So I got a tap on the shoulder, and I have friends there who are willing to host me and set it up, and so I'll be heading to to London. And in London, I'm also teaching an animal communication class. And the animal classes are not LRMT classes or not ICRT classes, but I just teach them on the side in addition to.
Well, that's great. Well, I'm so excited because I think of you just like Wonder Woman, like dun dun dun. I'm going to spread. I mean, just one LRMT in the huge country of Canada, and you're just like, but girl, you're doing it. You're just like, you get that. I love how you said that you get that tap on the shoulder, and then you listen. You listen to those little Reiki nudges, and you go. So,
well, Karen, that's after a lot of years of not listening. and realizing that it's in my best interest to listen. So thank you. But I haven't always been, but Reiki has shown me. I guess I started doing Reiki 9 years ago in 2010 when I had a health crisis, and Reiki has shown me that it never steers me wrong. It told me to go to Arizona and present at a conference where I met the people who wanted to host me in Australia. And Reiki even told me, oh, you're going from here to Australia. And, and it brought me to Western Canada I'm going to be in the Western US as well, in Ohio, and I'm presenting at the Equine Affair there on our work and horsework, and I'll be presenting about the ICRT and the LRMT program. And so, yeah, I love getting those taps. They never lead you wrong.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad that you're getting them, and I'm glad that you continue to follow your guidance on that. Well, I'm going to keep this short. Is there anything else that you want to add before we go?
You know what, Karen, just how much I appreciate you and you doing this and helping us all out with social media when we're not all technological geniuses like you are.
But I'm so excited to connect with other people, and I think that this is just having this extra social media arm of the ICRT. I really think that it's just helping make those connections stronger and wider. So,
I agree. And people can't learn and have this wonderful modality come into their life if they don't know about it. So it's a wonderful way of reaching people.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing your passion and your enthusiasm and everything. So
thank you for sharing yours, and thank you. I really appreciate the LRMT program and the ICRT and you and William and Colleen.
Yeah, well, we'll look for your article in the next Reiki News. And you guys, again, if you have any questions, just post them and we will get back to them later. If you're catching us on the replay, I know a lot of people are eating dinner now. So you guys have a great evening. And Pam, thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen. It's wonderful to meet you all.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.